A service of the RomaNation.org. Article 21-30. Part 3 of 3 European Roma and Travelers Forum Charter on the Rights of the Roma People. Article 21. We Roma, as well as our organizations, live in an atmosphere of general suspicion. The system of general suspicion is the most striking feature of anti-Ziganism and has to this day led to self-appointed experts being entrusted with making decisions concerning Roma instead of Roma themselves. Article 22. The behavior of European states towards the Roma in the 21st century will be a critical test of their implementation of the human rights and civil liberties of minorities, as well as the sincerity of their commitment to combating any kind of racism, anti-Semitism, discrimination, xenophobia and anti-Ziganism. Article 23. The Roma occupy a unique position in Europe, both historically and politically, as a pan-European national minority, without kin state. Efforts to improve the situation of the Roma in Europe must acknowledge this special position. Article 24. A constitutional, democratic and just Europe must include the participation of Roma in all areas of society. The participation process needs to draw on common roots and common perspectives beyond citizenship, group affiliation, or country of residence. Ensuring the participation and contribution of Roma in decision-making processes is one of the principal aims we wish to achieve. Article 25. A Europe in which Roma suffer from anti-Ziganism and segregation should not be allowed to exist for any longer. Yet we will only succeed in reducing this xenophobia, prejudice, stereotyping and fear emerging from ignorance through systematic and continuous education. Article 26. The Charter of the United Nations, the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, as well as the Vienna Declaration and Programme of Action, one affirm the fundamental importance of the right to self-determination of all peoples, by virtue of which they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social and cultural development. Article 27. Considering that every attempt to decisively improve the Roma's situation to date has been unsuccessful, a collaboration of the states, international institutions and the Roma's legitimate representatives based on equal rights is urgently needed. Furthermore, it is our obligation and duty to ensure that societies, as well as states and international institutions, revise their opinions. Article 28. Recalling the spirit of the partnership agreement signed on December 15, 2004 between the Council of Europe and ourselves, the European Roma and Travelers Forum, ERTF, we the Roma in Europe declare the principles of this Charter on the Rights of Roma as binding for all Roma representations, initiatives and particularly for the ERTF, as the only legitimate representation of Roma in Europe authorized by democratic processes, and actively commit ourselves to promote the implementation of the rights and principles in this Charter, in collaboration with all Roma and everyone of goodwill. Article 29. The Roma are a European national minority and citizens of the countries they live in. Their participation process needs to draw on common roots and common perspectives beyond citizenship, group affiliation, or country of residence. Article 30. We, the ERTF as the only legitimate representation of Roma in Europe authorized by democratic processes, declare the principles of this Charter on the Rights of Roma as binding and actively commit ourselves to promote the implementation of this Charter in collaboration with all Roma too and everyone of goodwill. Join the Roma Nation now and be part of the first virtual non-territorial direct online democracy.